You were in the convoy of Muritala Ajaka.
Yes, that's correct.
It was on Saturday.
Yes, that's correct.
It was around noon, I understand.
Some minutes to 1, actually.
To 1.
Yes, less than 20 minutes to 1.
So it's about noon,
yes.
just before 1 p.m.
Yes, before 1
So what really happened? The story is that your convoy was ahead and Governor Yahaya Bello was behind.
Yes.
So did you guys block the road, or what really happened?
No, we didn't block the road. The truth of the matter was that, things actually happened very quickly. And as at the time we discovered what was going on, the road had been blocked and some gunmen opened fire on the car of the candidate.
Which candidate?
That is Alhaji Muritala Yakubu Ajaka. Okay, what really happened was this. At a point, some 2 outriders, these power bikes, came and passed. Okay, I wasn't in the car with the candidate, I was in another car. But from what the candidate told me, the moment he saw those outriders, those of us who were behind were hearing the siren, but you see, it wasn't like a convoy per se. The candidate was on his way from Abuja, and when he got to Kotu, he stopped to pay homage to the Ohimegi of Kotu. That's the first-class traditional ruler. Stopped to pay homage to the traditional ruler. Now, after we left the traditional ruler, we're heading for Lokoja. Now, a lot of people, most of them we didn't know, motorbike riders, all sorts of people, now followed the convoy. They followed the convoy. So the convoy
from
now...
From Kotokafe?
Yeah, from Kotokafe. Some other people on the bridge turned and were following us. So the convoy now got extended even beyond our own control. Okay, so before we got to Lokoja, there's a place called the Banda. That is where you have the naval base. We got to that place. The candidate stopped to greet some persons. Those persons, like you just said, he left the APC. Okay, he just left the APC. Those people, one of them is a commissioner in the government of Yahaya Bello. His name is Bashir Gegu. So the candidate stopped and exchanged pleasantries with Bashir Gegu and other people. Bashir Gegu was with a pickup filled with people that we didn't know. Nobody bothered to look at the people in the pickup. We didn't understand what he was doing, but the candidate stopped to greet him. So a few minutes after that was when those outriders overtook us. Then the next thing was that a Benz carrying the crest of the governor now came to the front, drove to the front and blocked the road. Then those pickups that Gegu was in the pickup, and another pickup now came and they also crossed the road. And the next thing we heard was they started shooting. There was panic everywhere. People started running helter-skelter. Some people jumped out of their cars and all that when the gunshots were raining. But the obvious target was the car of the principal. The only thing that saved him was that the car is an armored car. So the bullets that were rained on the car, if you see the footage of the car, you see that several bullets were rained on the car. But obviously the bullets didn't penetrate. But not every other person was lucky. A senior advocate of Nigeria, his name is Arwa, Shaibu Arwa S.A.N. His own car was penetrated. Somebody sitting in the car, I think what is the name of the person? Somebody who had even undergone some brain surgery some years back. A bullet penetrated and wounded him here. We had to take him to hospital. I think about 2 or 3 other people had minor injuries. Several people ran away, jumped out of the car and ran while they were shooting. Now, the information we had was this.
Did you see, you were in the scene of the shooting?
Yes, I was in the convoy.
Was your car affected in the shooting?
No, my car was not affected. It was the cars that were in front.
In front?
Yes, it was.
So you saw the shooting?
Yeah.
How close were you to the shooting?
Now, this is the issue. When you start hearing gunshots, you are not going to advance to go and see who is shooting or whatever. The first thing that will occur to any human being is to try to take cover. But as a journalist myself, even while I was taking cover, I was trying to find out what was happening. And they said it was some governor's thugs that were shooting. That was the first thing we heard. It was later that we discovered that the Mercedes Benz with the governor's car was driven by the governor himself. And I will tell you the story of what happened from what we were able to investigate. When Alhaji Muri left Abuja and was heading for Kogi, some of these our people on social media were now posting his convoy from here. We heard, from what we were told, that the governor called some security chiefs in Lokoja and told them that Muri was coming with a long convoy to start campaign when campaign had not started, and that they should not allow him to come to Lokoja to come and campaign. From what we heard, those security chiefs didn't give any commitment as to what they would do or not do. And the governor, considering himself an action person, picked the few of his staff who were available. We were told that the normal convoy staff were not available at that point in time when he packed those who were around him, picked some other people, and headed. He drove himself from Abuja. So what they were actually doing was they were rushing to come and confront Alhaji Ajaka. So unfortunately for us, we stopped in Koto to pay homage to the what you call the Ohimege. Possibly maybe we would have gotten to Lokoja before they even got there. But when we paid homage, we had a delay. The Bashir Gegu we met, our information was that those Bashir Gegu were supposed to be the ones who were supposed to lead the assault to stop our convoy from entering Lokoja. The purpose was to stop us from entering Lokoja. That was the purpose.
All right. Let me quickly ask you. Yes. You want to land quickly?
Yes, I want to land
because we don't have all of the time, I know. And there are a few things that we need to clarify for the sake of our viewers. Yeah.
In fact, it's a very fearful thing. What they were supposed to do was open fire on the convoy, but I think they lost their nerve after Alhaji Muri stopped and exchanged pleasantries with them. So when the governor came himself, when the governor drove in with those outriders, they now had the courage and came to the front, blocked the road. The car of the governor was the one blocking the road when they were shooting. You check, the governor's convoy, was there a single car there that sustained gunshot? You understand? Who in his right mind will go and confront the governor for a firefight? Not even bandits do that.
On the statement released by the governor, it was said that there were those who sustained injuries from the attack. Have you seen the pictures that were released of vehicles branded in your candidate's name and your party insignia with ammunitions in those vehicles? Have you seen it?
Okay, that is another thing. Now, somebody wants to come and attack a governor. Okay, you want to come and attack a governor. Let's assume, for the sake of argument, that we actually left Abuja for the purpose of going to attack Governor Bello. You now go there with a branded SDP car. A car that can be spotted and known, and whoever is spotting the car will now know that, oh, this is SDP shooting. You now leave with a branded SDP car to go and shoot at the governor. Is that reasonable? The truth of the matter was that the people who were in that car opened the door of the car and jumped out and ran away. I knew one of them, the name is Saad. One of them is a businessman, his name is Saad. There was another one, I know him by face, but I don't know his name. Those are the people who ran out of that vehicle. So they came and destroyed the vehicle. They burnt one vehicle. Those guns were planted. You see, these are things that we know. Now, look at Yahaya Bello. With all due respect, he's the governor of our state. I will give him the maximum respect. But look at his record. Violence every day. The last time, you were showing one footage here. That is the house of one Kabir in Ejule. Kabir was a supporter of the APC. Okay? When Alhaji Muri came into the contest, he decided he was going to support Alhaji Muri. And that is why his house was burnt. That is what you are seeing there. They burnt that. His name is Okwa. He's a very famous person in Kogi East. He renounced his support for Yahaya Bello and APC. His house had gone on fire. If you remember, in 2019 election, the campaign headquarters of Natasha Akpoti was burnt down. Asin, a woman, Salome, in Ejule, in Ochadamu, one Salome woman was set ablaze. She died in the inferno. Okay, these are things that happens only electioneering in Yahaya Bello's district. So, you see, the record is there. The record of violence. The man believes. We have footages of Yahaya Bello bragging that he shoots gun better than any other person.
So, if the governor's side are claiming that several people, including security aides, are injured and have been taken to the hospital for medical attention, it would be good for us to actually see those people. And there are, the claims that the gunmen are suspected to be political thugs of the SDP, that they were sighted relaying the convoy of Governor Bello, blocking the road, and they started shooting at the convoy. The question is, to what end? When did this political opposition begin? Because Murita Lajaka was a national executive
Of the APC.
of the APC. He left just a few weeks ago.
Yes.
What could have been the cause, or what could have been at the bottom line of all of this clash?
You see, I want to make one correction. One thing you said earlier. Murtala Ajaka was a contestant in the APC primaries, but he didn't go to the polls. 24 hours to the APC primaries. The governor used some process and obtained a court injunction to restrain him from participating. So in spite of the fact that he tried to participate, there was no vote allocated to him. Because those votes were allocated, they didn't even bother to allocate votes for him. Okay, so there's been this fear, there's been overwhelming fear of Alhaji Murtala Ajaka, because Bello knows who Ajaka is. And Ajaka knows Bello. Truth of the matter is that Ajaka is the candidate to beat in Kogi today. That is the truth. Nobody will argue that. Okay?
Why? Well, a lot of our viewers who are probably hearing his name for the first time,
yes,
will be wondering what you meant by that. Okay. When you say he's a candidate to beat, in what sense? Has he held such a magnitude of position before that it becomes a candidate to beat? How would you describe his chances, his capacity, such that it now becomes a candidate to beat by the incumbent?
Okay, let's start from the APC. In the APC, they had to get a court injunction to stop him from contesting. Why did they do that? Obviously, because at least they know his popularity even within the APC. That if they go into a contest, even free or foul, he will still beat them. So the only way they could stop him was to get a court injunction to prevent him from contesting. Now, after APC, after he couldn't contest in APC, he now came to SDP. Now, look at this is the configuration of Kogi State. Yahaya Bello is stoking some kind of sentiments that we didn't have before. Okay? Yahaya Bello has served for 8 years. The proper thing to have done, or what was expected that he would do, was to either shift the power to Kogi West or shift it to Kogi East. There's been complaint that the East has been dominating power. So why don't you give it to the West? He didn't give it to the West. He not only took it to his senatorial district, he took it to his local government, he took it to his ward, and gave it to his cousin. His cousin is his cousin is the candidate of the APC. That is the person he gave it to. So a lot of people are angry, even in senatorial, which is Kogi Central, dominated by the Ibira ethnic group. Now, this is what is happening. There are about 4 candidates in the race that are strong. Maybe about 18 people registered, but the four major candidates are the candidate of the SDP, the candidate of the APC, the candidate of the PDP, and the candidate of the ADC. In the ADC, what has happened now is that, unfortunately, there is some kind of sectional politics that is going on. The ADC has Leke Abejide is a member of the House of Reps contesting. The ADC has 2 federal constituencies in the West Senatorial District. Now the PDP has Dino Melaye, who is from Ijumu local government, is from also the western part of Kogi State. Now, the truth of the matter is that most people from the West will prefer their own first before they will think of another person. But the votes in the West are almost like divided between Dino and Abejide. There is no saying whether Dino is even as strong as Abejide, because Abejide is coming to the table with 2 House of Rep seats. Now, if you go to Kogi Central, where the governor comes from, and where he has given a ticket to his brother, it is not even Uhuru there. Because a lot of people are angry. Okay, you have already given the impression that Ibira people don't want to give out power, and yet you are giving it to your brother. So in Kogi Central, even if they are voting for their own, you understand, the will, the zeal to come out en masse and vote for Ododo is not there. But in Kogi East, where Murtala Ajaka comes from, the registered voters of Kogi State, Kogi East has almost 60%. Almost 60% of the registered, 50% of the registered voters are from Kogi East. The likelihood is that those who are from Kogi East will prefer their own. And Ajaka is the most popular person in Kogi East. That is why there was a fear of Ajaka in APC. So if you vote today, if Kogi East people, let's assume that even 60% of Kogi East registered voters, which is about 970,000 registered, 970,000 registered voters, there is about 1.8 or 1.9 million votes in Kogi in Kogi State. So about half of it is in Kogi East. So even if about 60% of those people vote for Ajaka, all he needs to do is to get votes from other places, and it's good. So that is why there's a fear of.
So
Ajaka.
you see that, I mean, that's your own theory of why this is all happening, isn't it?
Yes, there's a fear of Ajaka by Bello.
Let's close this conversation. Yes. And I'm worried not only about the race, but about the average person in Kogi State.
Yes.
Now, we are in June. The election is still in November.
Yes.
Campaigns have not really even started. And we're seeing this.
Yes.
Now, the governor is claiming that the attack was on him. And the people from east side have incurred injuries. Now, the fear of a possible reprisal is there. Your candidate and your own side, you have your own grievance. You in fact saying that the governor is one who orchestrated the attack.
Yes.
Now,
he stopped the convoy. He pursued the convoy.
Now, so these are the division. These are the different side of the story. My biggest fear is going into this election and the campaign period. Campaigns have not even started. Election is not even here, and we are seeing this kind of level of violence. How do you stem this kind of scenario so that the average person will not be in the line of fire?
You see, it's a very simple thing. It's a very simple thing. We have a new president. We have a new federal government. In the last 8 years, Yahaya Bello had a field day. There's been violence and violence. Several people have been killed, and nothing ever happened. So that appetite, I mean, that courage, that confidence that whatever I do, I can get away with it. I have immunity. The president is from my party and all that. That confidence is there. But if the new government sends out a strong signal that, look, we are Democrats, we are not going to allow the blood of people in the name of election, I think it will cease. Because you actually don't need to provoke Yahaya Bello for him to unleash violence on you. And the reason is obvious. Yahaya Bello came to power, he inherited power. It was inheritance. Somebody died and he had to pick. He had to pick the person's mandate. Okay, that was how he came to power. Now, in the second term, rather than subject himself to the will of the people, he knew he performed badly. He wasn't paying salaries. He wasn't paying salaries. He was owing people. There were no projects to show, nothing. So the only way he could get back, if you remember vividly, when we had in 2019, an helicopter was shooting at voters from the air. The footages are there. Talks, if you Google Kogi State 2019 election, the only thing you will get are footages of violence on Facebook, on anything. If you search for it, that is what you see. So he had to use violence to be able to impose himself a second time. Yeah. Now he's about to leave, and the only way he can install his preferred candidate is to take to violence again. We are just hoping that the new government will discourage him, because we are tired. We're scared. We're scared of Yahaya Bello.
All right.
We don't have the capacity to carry guns and begin to fight the government back. But the government has to protect us.
I said it yesterday, and I think I've been saying it. And whatever this government, this administration will do, they have to do everything simultaneously. They cannot ignore one and do one. They have to understand that every areas of Nigerians' lives have been affected negatively. So I see that they jump into security now. They're tackling security. And I don't know where they left us when it comes to oil subsidy, but they see people's reaction, say they don't carry us, go where we don't want to go. So with the security and all that, may God help. As soon and as long as the security things they look into it and things are in place, even you will enjoy it more. Maybe investors will start considering coming to your country. Someone said Rufai can never see anything good or wonder if anything good has ever happened to this guy. He looks miserable. Ratified on the Shurobo comment section. Okay, that's the next move of the Ratified now. They invaded everywhere. Anyway, we need security. The lives of Nigerians are most important, and we have to protect the life of citizens. And another thing is this Senate and this House of Representatives. I don't know how they want to do it, but then they cannot avoid to be the same as the Ninth Senate. They have to come out different. They have to make good policy, pass good bills for Nigeria. They have to be able to question the president. They cannot just they can't be accepting everything that the president is bringing. They have to question things. But trust me, the thing is, Tinubu look like someone that will have his way anyhow. He looks like someone that will have his way. He looks like someone that all of them will possibly they will kind of respect, maybe due to one or two things he has been able to achieve in their lives, and this might not be good for business. Depending on what Tinubu is asking for, depending on the kind of bills, the kind of what he wants for the country. May God help Nigeria. May God not let us make wrong decisions. Someone said most Nigerians don't want to hold their accountable. Sad enough, most of us youths like hail them who have improvised us. So sad of us. Yeah. Someone said you are still, because like I said, they don't invaded the comment section, and they don't like what 10% they talk, but then they are still here, they are still watching anyway. So this is what we feel, this is what we think should happen, because Nigerians don't want to settle down with another rubber stamp Senate and rubber stamp House of Representative. We don't want that. The last administration, the federal government, they were able to do anything they want to do, borrow as much as they can. Even to the last minute of the administration, they were still borrowing at will, borrowing anything that they could borrow. And that is so sad. I'm sure if Buhari, I joke, everybody just come back and say one borrow. If the nice Senate still there, they will tell Nigeria they have to consider. So may God help Nigeria. May God help us. May God help us. Well, like I said, we can't ignore the security of the citizens. We can't ignore unemployment. We can't ignore the Yakpa syndrome that is going on. We can't ignore the subsidy that is going on. A lot of things that we cannot ignore. The lives of Nigeria, that constitution that needs to be reviewed. We can't ignore all those things. The negotiation that need to take place when it comes to the people that you have hurt. All those things, you have to put them in place. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. My name is David Stretula. Come your way next time. Please do share this video. God bless you.